Hello, everybody. You guys,
Hello.
you guys are stuck with me again tonight. Grizzly's a little busy, so you have me. You have, of course, Kelly Joe, who's the host, and then we've got little Bear, who's my sidekick. Little camera shy, but that's okay. And we'll say hi to everybody. Chris is here. Chris, thanks for being here. Curtis, how we doing, Curtis? And we'll put Kelly Joe's up any subjects tonight. Uh, give us ideas because Kelly Joe and I are winging it organically. So at this point, we're just going to pick each other's brains about each other's specialties. She wants to know about Bigfoot, and I decided being an empath, I want to know how to turn mine off a little bit because I did have a weird experience yesterday, and I don't know how to shut it off. So
Oh, well,
Roger
tell,
Blair's here.
hello, Roger Blair. Hello, everybody. What you can do is you can say a prayer to calm it down and tell them you're busy right now and you don't need the input right now and talk to you later. Tell your guides that. That way they won't bombard you.
Yeah, it was so bizarre because I was I shouldn't say it was. Yeah, Monday. I'm confused what day it is. Today's Tuesday. Monday. A friend I hadn't seen come up give me a hug, and it was just like all of a sudden it's got unloaded right onto my heart like that. And it was like, oh, wait a minute, I don't want this right now, but so I wasn't sure how to handle that.
Yeah, and white light bubble yourself before your feet hit the floor in the morning because you are empathic. You suck everything up. You're like a little sponge. So when you another thing is when you take your shower at
Uh-huh.
nighttime, you wash off anything that you picked up that are other people's. You put it in a ball. You either put it down into the earth and let the earth absorb it, or up to God. However you want to do it.
And just treat that just like physically washing.
Yep, and then send it up to God or into the earth.
Because I always get confused. Sometimes it's like, do I take it literally or is it a figure? There's a speech. Is there something I'm supposed to say with that? So good. First thing I'm going to be doing after the show is taking my shower before I take my NyQuil then.
And then that because it's not. Don't leave the energy balls running around. You run into it again. You always got to put it too late.
Oh,
Too late. Because if you just throw your balls, you'll have energy balls everywhere. You run into them again.
well, I'm having testicular surgery, so I won't have a couple to run into after that. So we'll do that.
So,
But so if
and
anybody wants to reading, pipe up.
yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah. All right, guys, pipe up in there. But have you noticed the energy's been a little wonky lately? Because everything's like shifting. And have you noticed there's been more earthquakes and more volcanic activity because everything's firing up?
I wondered that. And does that have something to do with that when you just have like the dark moon?
Yep. And that
Is
helped pull more, so the moon affects a whole lot of stuff. And it's like the earth is going through like a shift too. So,
that was, and maybe there's some input there. You can tell us. We were talking on another show the other night about, about Mel's Hole.
about who?
Mel's Hole, the anomaly where it seemed like it was bottomless and the whole, oh, what's the name of that show that got involved? Art Bell even got involved, and the government supposedly repossessed this guy's land because there was a hole that they couldn't define. They even put, what was it, over 5 miles of cable straight down? And they were having all kinds of other odd experiences where they think the Native Americans, it was like a pet cemetery in a way, because one of the neighbors, dog passed away and, chucked the dog in the hole. And it was like 3 months later, said he saw the dog again, but the dog acted like he didn't know him and was mean to him. And so this was something the government supposedly. So we were trying to figure out how this would happen, and wondered if it was like shifting with the Earth, where sometimes it might turn on and off like a portal if the Earth was going through a phase.
Yep, I agree with you. I think that's what it is. Because there's portals all over the place. And some you can get lost in and you can't come back out of. It'll just suck you up. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, speaking of loss, we were talking a little bit how I do the Bigfooting, and excuse me, there is some new property that I got lucky enough that where my grandma's property was, where all this started for me back in the 70s. His property butts right up to it, and he's had some activity, so he asked me. I should say I asked him if it would be okay to come out there, and it's been pretty crazy. I actually got lost out there because I didn't realize how much property she had. I thought it was just like a little, a little tiny little farm, maybe an acre or two.
A lot more?
Yeah, like 200 acres.
Oh, yeah, you can get lost forever.
Yeah, like he's got 20, she's got two, she had 200, and then there's like 500 estate land that they bought up.
Wow.
And I was walking down, this guy has a groomed path for his golf cart, and and I'm following, and I can see a trackway. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I start following the trackway, no big deal. Look back, see the trail. Oh, look, a tree structure. Okay, so I go over there and look. Oh, look at the tree. Oh, look, baby prints. Okay, let's go look at the baby prints. And then I'm looking around. I'm like, crap, I don't know where I'm at. And there's no road noise. I'm like, oh no, I am. So I wandered for about maybe an hour, couldn't figure out, and then it hit me to pull my phone out and uh, turned on my Google Maps and put on his address. I was 6 miles away from where I was supposed to be. So
Wow. I'm glad that
luckily,
your phone worked.
yeah, there were some times where it would, quote unquote, reroute. And then that made me a little nervous because then I get to the car, plug it in for music, and get maybe 5 minutes down the road, and my phone. So it taught me to go better and not chase shiny squirrels or anything I see running around without looking.
So what made you get involved with Bigfoot? What was your first inkling towards it?
Actually, my first was that property. Was her property was because they had all kinds of experiences out there, and they were talking about the fact that there's an area of the woods where everything was just quiet all the time, and you don't go back there because Bigfoot will get you. And, um, in '73, my grandpa worked for the sheriff's department out there, and he was working night yard, night shift, and the dog all of a sudden dove under the bed, and they were having. Well, you're from Michigan, you know what those heat lightning storms are like. So there was a heat lightning storm,
Yes.
and there was a flash, and then there was a huge silhouette in my grandma's bedroom window.
Wow.
So she grabs the gun, sits in bed, and calls Grandpa, and he brings whatever he can with him, some deputies, and it's close to morning, and they found 17-inch tracks that they tracked from that went up to the window, and then they tracked into the woods and made a report and everything. So when In Search of played with Leonard Nimoy,
Yes.
I saw it on TV, and it pointed to the TV, and I'm looking at my dad, 6 years old, five, whatever it was at the time. I'm like, is that what's at grandma's? And he's like, well, not that one, but yep, that's what's at grandma's. And so that got me down the path. And then my first one I saw was in '87, just like 2 miles from that property. So, and that was a close up as I was driving. Don't ask me why, but I came around the corner, and when I first saw it, I thought it was like a big 55-gallon bag of garbage, like somebody had lost it out of the truck or something,
Uh huh.
and turned around, and was pulled up close and I realized it had hair. So I was thinking, wow, that's a pretty big bear. And then, being 16, I thought, well, I'll nudge him and get him, to jump. And got within a few inches of it from my bumper and it still hadn't jumped. So I stopped. And when I stopped, it stood up and squared off to my car. And,
Ooh,
shoulders were as wide as that 79 El Camino,
wow.
and it just stood there and looked at me for a few minutes, a few seconds. I could see up to about here with the headlights, and then I could touch the eye shine and go to honk the horn, thinking to make it go away. And something told me in my head, don't do that. You're going to get roughed up if you hit that horn. And then all of a sudden, it just turned to the left and stepped over the guardrail, didn't hop, it didn't run, and walked off.
Wow.
So that was what got me down my journey.
That I'm glad that you came out of it okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And the funny thing was that was 87. So it's before any of the shows and all that. Chris L must be talking about portals. Supposedly one opened up in the backyard and has rabbits and turtles coming through. That'd be a nice thing to have come through a portal.
Yeah, that's not dangerous.
No. Virgil. We had to censor Virgil last night.
Uh-oh.
Well, you've seen Virgil in the comments. I mean,
Oh,
certain ones we
totally.
can put up and certain ones we can't. Hi, Michelle.
Yep.
Roger. I liked watching Search Up when I was a kid and found some episodes on YouTube. Oh, and Search Up was the show that started it for me.
Right. That's an older show. It had Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. How many can say you had Mr. Spock actually scientifically analyzing your stuff? But yeah, the Luke Skywalker of Anyway, so how about you? Questions for you then. We know about my.
All right. What do you want to know?
What is being gifted run through your family?
Yes. She would dream of things happening while it was happening to people. And she would manifest it physically in her body. So she prayed and asked it to be taken away because, like, if somebody was getting burned, she'd manifest burns or, sickness or beating or whatever. She'd manifest it. So she asked them to take that away. And then my dad, he was very psychic. And then he also, you could tell him what he would build trailers. And you could draw it in the dirt, and he could build it exactly as you thought it in your mind.
No kidding.
No kidding. And he could tell plumb out of nowhere. And he was a welder, and he could do like gears out of metal. He could fashion it in his brain and make it.
And do you have siblings?
I have a brother, and I don't get along with him very much.
Oh.
But he wouldn't admit that he's psychic or anything. He thinks all this stuff is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, excuse me. We're not supposed to cuss. Excuse me. But and then my great grandmother was a healer and an herbalist on my mom's side.
I'm getting lost.
So I have a long line of people. And I wouldn't change being me. I'm like this 24/7. So everybody's used to me.
I can't imagine walking in and all of a sudden you got, 3 people who have passed on in your ear trying to get a message across. Because do they automatically know that you can pick up?
Oh yeah, I have a bedroom full of dead people a lot of times. And a lot of times before I do a reading, all their dead people will come visit me before I read the people.
So and so's coming. Can you tell them this for me?
Right. Yep. Absolutely. Like you have a grandfather on your dad's side with you, and he was tall and thin, and he's giving you comfort, and he helps you with your gives you financial advice sometimes, and he also helps you with your common sense. So, because he says he helps you have your uncommon common sense. That's what he said. I can't help what the dead people tell me.
No, that's what I like is you just shoot it straight and say what comes to your mind, and you haven't
And then
steered
they're
me wrong.
showing me, did you play baseball?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's showing me you doing baseball. He's so proud of you.
yeah. I played. I only played 2 years, so
Well, but he's talking about baseball. I can't help what the dead people tell me.
I sucked at it, but I did try to play it.
You enjoyed it. You had fun. You put your all, you had heart, he said.
I think I'm the only person that's on that team that ever got a bat thrown at him.
Oops.
Yeah, the coach hit a fly ball to center field, and the kid, ran backwards instead of, he backpedaled instead of turning to run. And then he hit a fly ball to me, and I did the same thing. And within probably 15 feet, that bat landed from home plate out in right field. So
Wow.
I'm like, phew, good thing that wasn't the ball.
Yeah, really. And I'm glad you were okay.
John says hi.
Hi, John.
So do you do um what's the word? Investigations as well? Do you go out?
I have.
What's the any ill experiences that you go, okay, I'm never going back there?
Well, had one where I went and cleansed the house, and my mom went with me, and it it was bad. You go in the bedroom, there was frost off your breath, and it killed their dog. And then the people wanted it back so they'd have something to talk about.
Oh, jeez. Why would you?
I'm like, and then did one cleansing, and the guy had opened a portal, and he was messing with black arts and also drugs, and went and cleansed it, and then he messed with it again, and they had a bigger problem because once you close it and you invite something worse comes through. I said, ain't gonna come back because you did it. That's your fault. I ain't this mama don't play. And I always bring a friend with me. I never go alone. You always got two. But and then there's some places that you can't even do. You have to pray about it. And some places you're told not even to go.
Yeah, they don't.
And you just say, well, you need a priest. That's beyond my scope of expertise. It was that bad. It's like,
Man, that was. Uh,
And
I
then
can't.
I
Oh,
did a mental institution with another people I didn't know well. And I was walking along telling them all the spirits that were there and everything. And this guy goes, well, I want them to throw something at me. I said, if you're going to do that, I'm leaving. I'm not having stuff thrown at me.
yeah. I can't
No.
imagine you're real happy being told to have circus tricks and
Yeah, they were human ones. Don't do that. And it's like there's a bad one here. And I said, you don't want to mess with them.
yeah, like John says with capital letters, these things are nothing to mess with.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, like when I'm all Bigfoot, if I get a couple rocks chucked, I know it's time to go. So
Oh yeah. Like I went to Wisconsin, and I have friends out there, and this guy said, you want to go see where Bigfoot hangs out? I said, yeah, I'll go. And we're standing there by the edge of the woods and by the car, and he heard a tunk on the the tree, a little ways away, and he turned back. Then all of a sudden, we had rocks thrown at us. We got in the car and left.
Yep, that's their polite way of saying go
Get
away.
out of here.
Yep. Not today, folks. Not today. Be on your way. Dal, is there anything I need to know or an update on?
You need to quit doubting yourself. Trust yourself. You are moving forward. So know that you're right where you need to be at this point in time. You aren't to the left, you aren't to the right, you're where you need to be.
Chris L., what would it require of me to receive the totality of the blessings Spirit has intended for me? Please and thank you.
You have to accept it, don't negate it, and know you deserve it because you're very aware. You need to use your intuition more because you poo poo it a lot because you get busy. So listen to it. And you're going to receive more of another guide, but you're also going to simplify it. You're going to simplify things for your life better. That way it won't be so complicated. You don't need to overanalyze everything. It ain't a thinking thing. Yeah, boundaries. Yep.
Yeah.
Limitations and boundaries.
Dal, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, Virgil's getting his Star Wars mixed up with Star Trek.
I know. Star Trek's different than Star Wars, hon. Sorry.
Hate to burst your science bubble, but oh well.
It's okay.
And boundaries are important, even when you go out like Bigfoot. And
Oh, yeah. And you always have to say a prayer of protection of anything you do before you do anything. Very important. And their energies too. It's like you have to be respectful,
yeah, first and foremost, respect out there. Don't. And I think they know your intentions when you go out.
I think that they can go through portals. The Bigfoot.
Well, yeah. Alina loves this show.
Oh, thank you.
Dal, the second guessing thing is hard not to do when this is new to you.
Yeah, but when you're following your intuition, like I say, you don't second guess it because it's usually right. It isn't the chatter voice, it's the small voice that says, don't walk out, stop, don't walk out in front of that car. It isn't the chatter.
Looks like Chris has the same problem. Agreed.
Easy enough to do. We're human.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of chatter in the world and crazy stuff happening.
But like I tell people, you still got to chop wood, carry water.
John saw Bigfoot enter portal 25 yards away in daylight.
Yeah, they just disappear. I believe that they do,
Well, there has to be some kind of explanation for, and I've had it happen where you're following a trackway and all of a sudden there's that last track and it's like, there's no trees.
Nothing
for them to jump off. Where'd it go? I don't think they deliberately walked backward perfectly in every step.
No, it didn't happen that way. But I believe that they can also stop time.
Oh.
I think they can freeze time and then restart it.
I hadn't heard that before.
That's just what I believe. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I am not an expert, but
expert to me is a fluid term because if I were to walk into a room full of kindergartners with my personal training certificate, I'm the expert. If I walk into a kinesiology class, I'm the dunce. So Expert is dependent on who you're with and what you're talking about.
But I also believe that they can send out um, energies that can like scramble things too. You know,
There's got
like
to be some.
like ultrasonic. I think like pulsation.
Priscilla is learning to decipher a real download versus our own inner chatter. Did it
And
climb a tree? No,
that
there were no trees to be climbed. I was walking through a grass field and we're, but see, we didn't, we were going to talk about, little did we know it's going to be Star Trek and Star Wars. Spock was in Star Trek. Captain Kirk.
and you might be too young to know what Star Trek was.
Yeah, the original anyway.
Right.
John, that's an awesome platform. Joey, trust your instincts.
Totally. Yep. When your intuition tells you something, believe it. It's always right.
I don't know, my intuition sometimes is, I think it's clouded by what I want and what I should be doing. And then
How
sometimes
how
what I
so?
want gets in the way.
Oh, okay. Well, you have nothing to do with your intuition. It's just pure, ideas, thoughts, and beliefs. Just like when I do a reading, I don't, what I think and what I believe has nothing to do with when I do a reading for you,
Oh, got him.
So, and intuition is like that.
Well, that's a lot of times when I'm out in the woods, I have to keep Bigfoot off the brain and make sure I'm debunking everything else before
Right.
making.
No preconceived notions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because nature can do some wild and crazy things.
And like another thing that they say, like with UFOs, a lot of times people will see deers and owls to cover up the UFO or
Oh,
aliens. So
speaking of UFOs, this is something that was interesting and I need to look more into because I don't know a whole lot about them. Roger preferred Star Trek over Star Wars. Rogers is our age, so he knows the truth. Um, a friend was telling me that during that dark moon, excuse me, she was laying out in her yard and there wasn't just to look because the stars were exceptionally bright with that moon being so dark.
right.
But then she saw one star that was really bright. She couldn't figure out what it was going on. And then the star started to move. So she thought maybe it was like a plane or something. And um, then I want to make sure I get this in the right order. It blinked out. And then when it blinked back on, there were three of them. And they were just sitting there, and there would be like a long blank in between. And they were moving almost in a pattern, she said. So what she did was she had heard that they respond to a certain frequency. So she went in and put YouTube on. And apparently there's this channel on YouTube where you can play that frequency and turned her TV way up and was playing that frequency. And then when she went back out, they blinked three times rapidly. And then her underground dog fence, the power turned off. And then the lights blinked out and the dogs ran over to her and laid by her and wouldn't move.
Well, it was the UFOs.
That's what she was. She was like, I don't know who else to tell because I don't know who will believe me. And I'm like, well, I believe you.
And
I
they
didn't know
mess
you
with,
could. I didn't know you could play a frequency though for them to.
well, I've seen that on there's a new show. It's not real new, but it's um, Skinwalker Ranch. and then they go beyond Skinwalker Ranch and they send them out to check out UFOs and
Oh,
portals and all that, and they play frequencies, and then they get communication. And there's like, what is it? The one, I don't quote me because I could have it all screwed up. I think a 1.6, that's communication from um, outer space to Earth, and that's the frequency that a lot of times that they'll get communication through.
she sent it to me. I can tell you in about 2 seconds. Oh, yeah,
Like,
1.6 gigahertz.
yeah, that's the frequency.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Well, I only learned that from Skinwalker Ranch, the TV show.
That's what she learned it. So, and it's funny because the YouTube channel is
Excuse me.
Skinwalker Ranch. So, uh, deep body.
Okay,
Hi,
well,
chance of reading.
I'll see what I can pick up on you here. You got to let go of the door jamb because you're going out the door jamb and holding on to it and you're kicking and screaming. You're going through major changes and you're going to go through another phase, a new phase in your life. And anything that doesn't serve you for your highest good's going bye-bye, but it isn't a punishment. So that's what's happening to you right now. So
All
let
right.
me know if that resonates with you. Hi, all the new people, James and
James,
hi, John. Yeah,
Virgil, no, what's Virgil say now too?
I don't know. I wasn't
Didn't
talking.
he say in Star Wars it's not Jim, but not as we know it? It's not life, Jim, but not as we know it. No. Next.
Okay, I don't know what he means.
Me either. Dell, hope your dog will be okay, Chris.
What's wrong with
Or
Chris's
me.
dog? I missed it.
I did too.
We got about 3 conversations going here. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know what we're doing. I'm trying to
So
keep track, guys.
the one, I think John's talking about the 1.6.
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay.
Thanks, that seems accurate.
You're welcome.
And only if time are the portal animals still overwhelming my little dog at night. Please and thank you. So
Well,
that's what's going on with Chris's dog.
but you can ask the portal to be closed off. You can close it.
Will that
You
make
know,
him bark at night?
huh?
Will that make him bark at night at nothing?
It can, yep, because the portal will open and they'll go through the veil. And a lot of times, if you have passed on pets, they come true. And then whenever we have like the dark moon and certain energies like that, the veil is more thin, and our passed on pets and people can come through more easy.
Oh, that might explain what's going on with this guy. Because he's so possessive of me at night. When he's up on the bed, when the cats walk in, he barks like crazy, runs to the end of the bed. But then this other time he runs to the end of the bed and he barks even more intense, and I cannot get his attention, but he's looking into nothing.
Well, it's because there's a spirit at the end of the bed.
And that makes sense because we had a cat, and up until recently, I used to feel her. She used to jump up on the bed at night, and even 4 years after she passed, I would feel that cat jump on the
Right.
bed.
So
So she's probably mad she can't jump on the bed because this guy's hogging it.
right.
Okay, so if Chris's dogs don't bark but become restless.
Right. And you might want to put a circle of salt around the bedroom to help seal the portal. And ask it to be closed off because you're very aware, Chris.
have a personal question for you then. I had Dr. Carroll was helping me with something.
Okay.
Long story short, see, I was 19 at the time. I'm not going to name the book because what happened was a friend of mine she called herself a good witch, and she had a certain book by her bed. And I had mentioned reading it, and she's like, no, 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 don't you read it. You can't handle it. Well, I just went out and bought my own copy and read it. And then ever since I read that book, I've had just her. It talks about going through the 7 gates. I went through 5, reading them. And the nightmares have been horrific, violent, beat. You know, if Elaine had been in bed the other night, I would have probably at least cracked her face open
Wow.
because I broke my wrist hitting the bed.
Well,
And
well,
so what Dr. Carroll suggested was salting a barrier around the house and then saging. So I did that, and they're down some,
but what I would do is I would salt around my bed, put a circle of salt around the bed, or you know, and throw a Bible open to the 23rd Psalms underneath the bed. No
the Bible.
disrespect. Don't throw it. I mean, put
Yeah.
it. I do not disrespect it in our Bible. But put it under the bed.
And open it to what?
23rd Psalm. And then always say your prayer before you go to bed at night.
Lord's Prayer?
Yep.
Okay.
Or whatever prayer you choose, you know.
Thank you. Because they did go way down, but I'm still having like 1 or 2 a week, and I've squished poor Bear a couple times, and
And what's happened is you go into the more of the astral negative plane, you know, the lower realm. So say your prayer and lift yourself up out of there because you're going into the astral instead of the higher.
okay. Kim Princess. It felt like my cat had passed away walking over me and my comforter the other night.
It is. It was.
Okay, I can try to close the portal and also the salt. Thanks.
Yes.
Virgil. I told my psychiatrist my cat sends messages to my brain and I'm still detained under the Mental Health Act. Well, you're in the UK, so they detain you for anything over there. So, you see what they're doing in the UK lately over there?
No, what?
Like, I mean, I post some, I don't want to say raunchy, but raw humor memes, you know. And over there, if somebody reports your post that you put up or you like a meme that somebody deemed offensive, they'll come to your house and arrest you now.
Wow.
There's actual video of people. Russia did it to 47 people last year, and the UK did 3,600 last year.
Wow.
And a guy told an offensive joke that somebody deemed offensive. I'm not going to repeat here just because of terms of service. It wasn't that bad, is what it sounds like. But he got 3 years in prison.
Wow.
So now a bunch of comedians are boycotting the UK because they're afraid if they tell an offensive joke that they're going to be in trouble.
Wow.
Samantha, can I get a message, please and thank you?
Your grandmother on your father's side is with you. You have a tabby cat with you also. They're saying that you're hanging on too tight to something that you need to let go. So let it go, and then you'll feel much better. tightness will release. So I hope that helps you. And then you're going to have lighter and being able to breathe more. You know, things will lighten up for you in the next 3 weeks.
Okay. Crystal, wow, censorship and control going too far. Yeah, we're getting there. Kelly Joe, have you ever, and the reason I ask is because I was reading a book once concerning a medium who was trying to get a TV show.
Uh huh.
I think the producer was just being a real wanker. And so he said, I just wanted to see your mom coming through and she thinks you're being a real butthole. Have you ever had anybody actually come through and want to be mean to somebody? And do you pass that on or do you just say there's nothing happening?
Well, I do. I have had real offensive spirits come through at one point in time. You know,
Because I wonder if people are the same, if they're,
they're the same over there as they are over
yeah.
here. If you're dumb over here, you're dumb over there. Just because you died doesn't mean you know everything.
That reminds me of a quote that I was reading about uh, because the world's dumbest criminals crack me up when you see them on YouTube. So they actually did a study and they said these people are actually think they're geniuses because they're too stupid to realize that they're stupid.
You're right.
Must be the same for the other side then.
You know, and your people that were your people, your family and aunts, uncles, friends, whatever that had passed on, they are not your guides. You know, they are not your guardian angels. Angels are angels, people are people. I'm not
Also,
trying to blow anybody's bubble, but people will say, oh, my passed on grandma's my angel. No, they were never angels. Angels were never human.
I always try to read Virgils before I put them up. My dad was a bell end, but he loved me. That must be a UK term for not so bright.
Right.
Come on,
But
but yeah. Any
you
questions,
have
Kelly
any
Joe?
questions, you guys? And how you get a hold of me, you can call me. It's 850 481 1813 is my phone number if you want to get a hold of me and get a reading. That's what I do. And I want to thank everybody for in the room. And any other questions before we go, guys?
No, people, I'm telling you, hook up because she predicted, trying to think how long ago it was, you said I was going to write a book. And I went, not going to happen. I don't write books. I
Right.
draw. And it wasn't 4 months ago. Russell Easterbrook messaged me saying he wanted to co-author a book with me.
Awesome.
I was like, son of a gun.
I'm so happy for you. Neat.
Yeah, I mean, excited too because I love Russell's work. So,
And I've had people that didn't believe anything I told them, and they'll write me a letter and say everything I told them happened. And I have no need to be right.
that's when I would get in trouble because I wouldn't be able to help but say I told you so. But can someone from your past life become your spirit guide now?
No.
Ella's A. Beth. Hello, folks from Adelaide, Australia. All others are similar to the UK. Free speech is gone. I watch Isaac Butterfield, so yeah, I know what you mean there. You have to
Wow.
look over your shoulder constantly. Do you have a message for me, please?
Journaling is good for you. You have a move in a year. It's a good move. And then you're going to change your career too, and you'll be your own boss. So that's what I'm seeing for you. Let me know if that resonates.
John, could you tell me if I have any cryptids near my
Yes,
house?
you do. Uh-huh.
That's an evil laugh. That means there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, like 3 different kinds of them things. You definitely have a Bigfoot. You have like a weird dog thing. I have no idea what that is. And then like an owlish thing. But it ain't an owl. It's weird. Has red eyes. I don't know what it is. Ew.
Ooh,
It's
dog with red eyes. That's
no, it's an owl with red eyes.
owl
And
with
it's
red eyes.
tall. I don't know what it is. Ugh. I don't know what cryptid that is. I am not a specialist in cryptids, but it's ugly.
That sounds like Mothman.
Maybe.
Kim, after the bullying my daughter has endured this summer, I pray for her to have a good school year.
I think this year it'll be a little bit better.
Chris, like Egyptian dog people. Just wondering if that's what you're seeing for John.
No, this is an owl with red eyes and it's tall. And it's like the Mothman.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. And
well,
thank you.
Well, thank you, Kelly Jo, for sharing some airtime with me. This was fun.
I enjoyed
it. Let everybody know again, if you would, please, so they can make sure they can get a hold of you.
481-1813 is my phone number. I also have a website, kellyjopsychic.com. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. And you did a great job. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So next time, if I know, then we'll get together beforehand and have a topic.
Yeah, we'll have a conference beforehand.
There we go. All right. Thank you, Kelly Jo. And from coast to coast, around the world, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you later.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just gonna sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!